This video is meant to help you with week 5's discussion question. So week 5 asks you to find a building and pick a place where your shadow ends at the end of the building. Now that's pretty precise. So if you can't actually find a building and go outside and do this, I'll go ahead and give you some measurements that you could utilize to solve this problem. So let's say that I went ahead and did this experiment. So my height, I like to say I'm 5'5". So I'm going to go ahead and express my height in inches. So that would be 65 inches. Let me have the right marker here. So 65 inches tall. We're going to say my shadow is 48 inches. So 48 inches. And we're going to say that the building's shadow is, we'll say roughly 20 feet, which is going to give us, so 20 feet, we want to make sure all of our measurements are in inches. So that's going to give us 240 inches. And that's this entire length here is 240 inches. So that's including that 48 inches. So these are similar triangles, which means that their sides are in proportion to one another. So we're going to be able to use that knowledge to help us solve for the height of the building. Actually, we really don't even need that. But we can just use a basic right triangle trig. But if you were limited on information, you could certainly use proportions to help you solve for the sides. So here we have angle A is what we're looking for. We have the side opposite angle A, which is 48, or sorry, side opposite, which is 65, and the side adjacent, which is 48. So we have opposite and adjacent, and we want to know A. So you have to decide, all right, which trig function do I use to help me solve this? So remember, sine of A would be equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine of A would be equal to the ratio of its adjacent side to its hypotenuse. And tangent of A is going to be equivalent to opposite over adjacent side. So in this case, opposite over adjacent gives us 65 over 48. So to solve for an angle, when we're talking about trig functions, you have to use your inverse trig function. So we want to take the inverse tangent of 65 over 48. And I'm going to find this answer in degrees. So you just type it into the calculator. So second tangent, if you're using a TI-84, most calculators you need to do second tangent, 65 divided by 48, and that gives me 53.56. So angle A is equal to 53.56 degrees. The next part of the question asks you to solve for the height of the building. Well, we know this side length. We know angle A is 53.56, and we are looking for opposite angle A. So we are looking for opposite, we have adjacent, and we have our angle. So we are still using tangent. So tangent of 53.56 is equal to opposite over adjacent. So that's our adjacent side. That entire length there is 240 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply both sides by 240. And then I'm going to type that into my calculator. So 240 times tangent of 53.56. And that gives us 325 inches, which is 27 feet. I was just curious to see how many feet tall the building was. Okay, so that's how you would go about solving this type of problem. So if you do not have the opportunity to go and create your own measurements, I'm going to give you some new measurements that you can use for the discussion question. So we're going to go ahead and put in we're going to use a height of, let's go with 60 inches. Makes me feel taller if I put somebody in here that's a little shorter than me. We're going to say that shadow is 20 inches. We're going to say that's still our angle A that you need to solve for. And we're going to say the building's shadow is 200 inches. Okay, so your goal is to solve for angle A and the building height.